Hi, just here, and in this video I would like to show you one of my favorite copywriting examples when it comes to a homepage. This is a homepage of a company called BeMyGuest, already a great copywriting example there. It's a company who can get you booked on podcasts that target your ideal clients, and they can even help you create your own branded podcast. Why I like this page so much? This is a great example of a page that does not use many words. It's an example that you do not need many words on your homepage. You just need the right ones. And I think this homepage barely has a word too many. Also, I mean, the copywriting itself is so focused. It's just exactly how I like it. It already starts in the navigation. Imagine you are their prospect and you would like to get booked on podcasts. You got the link somewhere, Google search, their post, whatever. Your first question would be, what do they offer? What services they offer? Whom they worked with, to see whether they're trustworthy, what results they achieved. And then if you're still curious, you may want to know about something about the company, right? So this is exactly the order they structure their navigation in. And there's, again, very short labels, and the labels that cannot be misunderstood. Super clear. Services, clients, results, about. Okay, and then you get to know they have a podcast themselves, and you get a button that stands out nicely that says, okay, contact us, basically. So the master is already in the navigation. The only thing by the sort of design thing, I wish they indicated where their drop down menus to to set expectations and so on and so forth. But okay, that's not the copy. Moving on to the header. The header is structured also very clearly. First, the benefit, what you would like to do actually as a prospect. You would like to grow your brand, right? Whoever you are, whether you're executive of a big company, whether you're a freelancer, you want to grow your brand. You would like to become known. That's the main benefit. So they go with the benefit. And what they do in the explanation paragraph, they just say who they are and basically what they do and for whom. Uh, sorry, they don't say for whom at this point. Sorry, they would say for whom later, but right now they say what they do, right? I think they don't say for whom now because for whom it's many different sub segments, and if they placed it here, this would be already too much. So they concentrate on benefit, grow your brand through podcasting, and what they do and what exactly else we can help you achieve. So they again put benefits in focus on their header, right? Very clean header. You already can dive in. You may not even want to scroll. Great, man. I want to see more, learn more about this. View services, right? Thank you very much. Not a contact button, as you see, because right now, as a prospect, you saw it for the first time. You are not ready to contact them. So view services is a better choice. Moving on, interestingly, this logo sections, you may think, what can go wrong in the logo sections? Sometimes people place logos and you do not know what that you did, what the company did with these other companies, right? So they put an explanation sentence saying what they did. They executed podcast strategies for marketing and PR teams at these great organizations. You may think language is not very natural, executed podcast strategies, but they are addressing marketing and PR teams. So I can imagine that this is how these marketers and members of PR teams actually talk about it. Because other language is actually quite natural. This is the only phrase that struck me as like something, I wouldn't say in a sentence, but I'm not a member of marketing and PR team of a bigger organization. They target big organizations, as you see. So they indicate with this kind of language, we worked with bigger organizations and we know, how marketing PR teams talk. Trusted by world-class brands. Again, they didn't say our happy clients. They immediately told you what to make of this section. What do they want you to take from this section? Not our happy client, but that they are trusted by brands that are famous. After this short social proof, they dive into their services. Again, very short sections. Name of the service, nothing creative, just what it is. Podcast tours, you can imagine you go on tour on podcasts. I mean, that's very clear. And then they tell you for whom this is. That's why I said they probably didn't put for whom before, because it's many different kinds of people. So these podcast tours are targeted towards entrepreneurs, CEOs, and executives. And they just tell you what benefit you will get. And what I really like about this, although this is repetitive if you read from here and then here, but people skim, right? And they kind of support skimming by putting this check marks to make you understand faster what benefit you will get from this service. uh, and in the sense of, in case you didn't read this, here this once again, we've repeated it to you. And even if you read, I didn't feel irritated in the sense of, okay, I understand they just would like to highlight it once again. So exactly the same formula they use all over again. Branded podcast production, again, very clear. And then they do say what they do, for whom, and was benefit. All the time we do this for this kind of sub-segment of our target audience with this benefit, nothing more. They didn't start like, oh, like sometimes I see really long paragraphs describing problems of people and so on and so forth. Sometimes, of course, there is a place for describing the problems of your customers, but sometimes it becomes way too long. Sometimes it's misplaced. I think that they target people who already are very product aware, in the sense of they know that I need this particular product, and the services are their product. I need to get booked on podcasts. They do not need to tell their prospects, oh, you're struggling with this problem, or nobody is, recognizing your brand, whatever. They don't need to do that. People who come to them already are looking to get booked on podcasts. So they are not taking a step back. They're meeting their prospects where their prospects are standing right now. That's super important. They have a third section that's structured the same way. Again, service. We do this for this kind of people, teams, and so on, and you get this benefit. Again, not a word too many. And then they added another section of social proof. It's like our value proposition, social proof. This is our services, again, social proof. You see, they don't leave you without social proof for long. And then they have three good testimonials that kind of back up their claims. Not just some like, oh, they were super nice to work with, but otherwise I won't tell you anything about it. It's also probably, I guess, very important for their prospects to know that this is not some kind of a scheme. I can imagine that there are companies in their niche that just, like SEO companies that promise you high ranking or whatever. Their clients need to know that they're professional, and these people testify to their professionalism as well. Actually, here it's already done informing their customers. At this point, actually, you already may think, okay, I'm almost sold. You may want to see different pages, more about clients, more about the results, whatever. But to this point, you already, man, it checked all my boxes. This is great. Then they have a segment. I'm not quite sure about that, but I mean, I don't know their target audience. I don't know what they thought about it. They add this explanation in the sense of, okay, why podcasts are great. Podcasts, um, if a person comes, no, I don't know podcasts, okay, this is why podcasts are great. I don't know why they have this section here. It does not bother me in that sense, because they already covered all their bases before. Even if somebody comes and they find this section kind of redundant, so what? They already impressed you so much, they can put this section here as well. I mean, it's not harmful or anything. My question is only if it's really useful. We don't know. I don't want to say anything because I didn't talk to them about their target audience exactly. But as you can see, um, here this section is way low down. What are podcasts and what they're useful? What I see often on homepages is that copywriters say, for example, first section on the homepage, after you said I'm a copywriter so and so, section is called what is copywriting and why it's useful. No, this is the wrong place to start. When prospects come to you, especially if you have a simple offer like web design, copywriting, photography, you need to tell them what you offer right away, because they want this thing you offer. You don't need to start, with the dinosaurs or whatever. Why copywriting, whatever. No, nobody needs to hear this. Nobody wants to hear this. So even if you would like to put it for whatever reason, it needs to be way low down, right? Another good thing they do, what I really like doing on client websites that I do, if the order is, sorry, not order, offer is pretty straightforward, is adding a form right away on the homepage. So they can contact you right from homepage. Maybe they will come back, they will do their research and they will come back. Or even if they got impressed right away. I mean, I would be probably impressed right away with these guys. So you can contact them right away and they add a human touch. That's very important. Even if you're a company, even if you're an agency, if you're a team, whatever, whoever is on the other side of the screen is a human being, and they would respond much better if they see a friendly face, right? Also, even studies show that if you ask people something, digitally speaking, email and whatever, and if you put a face, your face next to the favor you're asking for, people are more likely to comply. Weird, right? So your photo, definitely a photo from somebody, from your team. Great. I mean, this is a really great execution. I really like how the form is done. Also very clear, nothing weird, like um, looking weird so you don't even understand that these are input fields. Also from design perspective is also great. um, okay, they have a podcast, whatever, probably not that important for their conversions or whatever, but they wanted to mention it. And then they have a footer that is uh, not empty. This is important. They have their own, links to individual services, and then about and podcast. They actually just mirror the navigation. It's great. I don't see what else they should have put here. Everything is great. So if you read the homepage and you would like to jump to a particular service, you do not need to scroll up or anything. So I really like this page, to be honest. It doesn't happen often that I do like a page, but the only thing, the last thing I would like to leave you with. So what can you learn from this page, right? Okay, we looked at it, pretty basic, whatever, but what can you do? How can you take the lessons from this page and apply it to your homepage? First, I would like to ask you to put yourself in the shoes of your prospects and to think about what do they know about your services or product. What do they want? They come to your homepage. Imagine they searched for you in Google, and what did they search for that brought them to your page? Is it a product? Is it a service? What do they know? What burning question they have that you need to answer on your homepage, right? Um, Probably what you do for whom and what's the benefit. In the header, this needs to be in the header. No fluffy language or bloomy language or whatever. Just tell people straight away what you do for whom and what is the benefit. This page is such a great example of things that I probably said 1 million times already in every section, right? And also a very good example, this was lesson number 1. Lesson number 2, this is how you can describe your services. Steal this example, right? This is really good. I really like with this check marks and with the text, we do these things for these people so that they get this benefit. This is a great template to write short explanation for your services. And the third thing I would like you to, actually two more things. Let's do two more things. The third thing would be, if you have logos for your clients, add a sentence saying what exactly, to put a bit more context to these logos if you're using logos of your clients. And the thing number 4 would be very clear navigation, structured from the very important thing, the very first thing your clients would like to know. For example, the services you offer, to the least important thing, your blog, probably, right? Okay, contact is separately. We don't count it because these are the items that look similar, right? So you need to decide on order here. This will be visible by itself. You don't need to worry about this. But your navigation needs to be very clear, as short as possible, using very common labels and structured from the most important thing to the least important thing. Okay, so this would be all from my side. I hope you found it useful.